Standard 9th, Subject Geography, Lesson number 4, Exogenetic Processes, Part 2. What are exogenetic processes? Well, we don't have to ask this question because we have learned in the previous lesson that the Earth's surface wears away because of erosion. The eroded material, the material that has come out, gets carried away by agents. Which are these agents? These can be natural agents. When the speed of the agent reduces, the materials get deposited in one place. The agents like running water, river, glaciers, wind, sea waves and groundwater do the work of erosion, transportation and deposition. Because of these agents, the Earth's surface keeps on undergoing changes and new landforms are formed. We have already understood this in the previous lesson, and now we will study some of these landforms in this lesson. Now, coming to the agents, we will first study the work of rivers and the effect on landforms. The geographical explanation informs us that running water flows naturally in a direction according to gravity along the slope and makes its own way. It cannot be stopped. As long as the gravitational pull is there, as long as the slope is present, the water will keep on moving, and this is called a flow of water. When many such flows of water come together, a river is formed. The slope of the land, the type of the rock, the volume of the water flowing in the river, and the length of the flow, volume of sediments in the river, etc., are the factors on which the erosional, transportational, and depositional work of the rivers depend. Now, all these factors come into play to have an effect on the landform. First, let us study the erosional work of the rivers. How do rivers result in erosion of the land? The rivers originate at a much higher altitude from the sea level. Usually the rivers originate from the mountains because why? Because the snow melts there. Here the river flows at a great speed and therefore its power to erode is great. If the flow of the river is slow, the erosion effect will be less. If the flow of the river is at a greater speed, the erosion effect will be more. The riverbed, that is the base of the river, and the river banks get eroded because of the fast flow of water, because of sand particles, because of pebbles, pebbles means small stones, etc. And the various tributaries, the various small rivulets joining the main river. Tributaries means branches. All these lead to the formation of gorges. Gorges means canyons. Canyons means areas which are very deep down between high mountains. V-shaped valleys. V-shaped means the mountains are at a slope and it looks as if there is a V-shaped structure. And waterfalls also are the result of such a formation. Transportation and deposition by rivers. After studying how the rivers cause erosion, we will now study about what do they transport and where do they deposit. A river flows down the slope from a hilly region. At the foothills, at the base of the mountain, the change in slope causes deposition of coarse sediments. Coarse means bigger in size. As these are deposited in a triangular shape, they form an alluvial fan. Alluvial fan means collection of sediments in the form of a shallow cone, in the form of a circular ring at the base of the mountain. As the steepness of the slope decreases and the transporting capacity of the river reduces, it starts flowing slowly. The river now bends often in its way in an effort to cross even small obstacles. It keeps on trying to change its path and go around larger stones, finding its way, moving ahead to go down the slope, whatever little slope is available. By the time the river reaches the sea, its riverbed becomes very wide and its speed becomes very slow. If the water is not flowing too much, it tends to get collected, it tends to spread in the area, and hence the riverbed becomes wide. The sediments of the river get deposited in its bed at the bottom of the river and on its banks, on its sides. The factors that determine the deposition of sediments are the length of the rivers, the volume of the water, the amount of sediments, and the slope of the river and the earth's surface. Thus, landforms like flood levees, floodplains, and deltas are formed because of the deposition of sediments. If we want to understand what this all thing is about, we can check figure 4.1, where they have shown the river, they have shown the flood levees, and they have shown the floodplains, and the whole thing is called delta. The formation of landforms like gorges, V-shaped valleys, waterfalls, alluvial fans, and meanders. Meanders means the bends of the river, flood levees, floodplains, and deltas we can understand from the pictures that they have given. The brown color picture which they show are the alluvial fans, which is followed by the flood levees and floodplains. We can also see a V-shaped valley and the whole delta. Now, after knowing the work of the rivers, we will now know the work of glaciers and landforms. In regions, in areas where the temperatures are generally below freezing point, below 0 degrees centigrade, precipitation happens in the form of snowfall. Layers and layers of snow accumulate on the earth's surface. The heavy weight of these overlying layers makes the snow move along the slope. At the base of the layer, the snow starts melting. Why? Because of the friction and because of the pressure which is coming from above. Glacier starts moving slowly along the slope. The huge collection of snow starts moving down towards the base of the mountain. Like the river, a glacier too carries out the work of erosion, transportation, and deposition. Erosion work by glaciers. Now, after understanding how the glaciers are formed, we will now understand how they result in erosion. Though its velocity is less, though the strength, the pressure effect of the glaciers is less, but the mass of the ice is more, and hence the glacier erodes its own banks, its own sides, and its bed, its bottom on a large scale.